Hey Jonah, it's Beppa. This is a project that I've been working on for you for a while now. I started it as a Christmas thing, and then now we've gotten towards Easter, but I wanted to get it to you. These are books that we've gotten friends of yours here in Vidalia that you know really well. We've gotten them to read these books to you as bedtime stories or just as books that you want to read any time of the day. You'll see lots of books about boats. You've got the napping house. There's one about how much God loves you. There's just all sorts of books in here. Some that you've already read, I'm sure. If you give a cat a cupcake. So as you go through these books and all and listen to the stories that are read by your friends here, just know that they love you a lot. We miss you a lot, and just wanted to give you a little touch of Vidalia so that you could see your friends and hear some stories from them. Love you a lot, Jonah. We'll talk to you later.
Hi Jonah, it's Cliff and Beppa here. We are going to read you a book. And you know you and I like boats. So I got us a boat book. So I'm going to read you a book about boats. And look, Jonah, it has stickers for you inside the book. You can play with the stickers. Okay, here we go. The first boat that we're going to talk about is a kayak. A whitewater kayak boat. It says, "See how I go. I am a whitewater racing kayak. See how I go. Look at me riding the rapids like a flying fish. I'm just the right shape to dart between the rocks without scraping my hull on the riverbed. I have a fish-tailed stern and I have a paddle. I have a flat-bottomed hull. My tail is shaped like a fish's. This makes me even more maneuverable. Today, I am racing in a competition like the one you might have seen in the Olympic Games. My kayaker must paddle and steer me between the gates and obstacles without hitting them. It's very difficult, but it's very exciting. Kayakers get very wet in their boat, even when they're wearing waterproof clothes. And I have a pointed bow to help me go by the rocks." That is a whitewater kayak. Our next boat is a big sailboat. I am a sailboat. See how I go. I am a racing sailboat. See how I speed across the sea when the wind blows. My crew works hard to adjust my sails. Now I can sail even faster. This big sail right here is called the spinnaker. It catches the wind and pushes me through the waves. Look how I lean on my side as I steer to the right. Full speed ahead. I will try to catch up with the yellow sailboat ahead of me. Here's the yellow sailboat. It is called a catamaran because it has two hulls instead of one. That is the sailboat. Next is the speedboat. This is Cliff's favorite. It goes fast. I am a powerboat. See how I go. I am built for speed. Look at me. I can fly across the water at more than 60 miles an hour. That's as fast as a car on the highway. But I am more than just a race car on water. Look inside me and you'll find a living area with a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and a lounge. My speed and strength make powerboats ideal for towing water skiers. Whoosh, that's fun. It also makes it really good to go fast and go fishing. I am streamlined. My dart-shaped bow helps me go fast. It cuts through the water and pushes waves away from my hull. The next boat is the terrific trawler. This is how they catch shrimp. I trawl for fish and shrimp by dragging my nets through the sea for hundreds of miles. I have a bridge where the captain works. I have ring buoys in case my crew falls overboard. Here's my big trawl net that I catch my fish and shrimp in. My trawl net is like a big string bag that has an opening at one end. I have a big radio antenna to talk to other boats. When my nets are full of fish, my booms haul them out of the water. Then the fishermen tip the fish into my refrigerated hold. This is in this hole right here, and they have ice in there to keep the fish. There they will stay cold and fresh. Sometimes I'm away at sea for more than a week. On board I have lots of food for my busy crew. The next boat is a rescue craft. If a ship catches on fire, a fireboat comes with me to put out the flames while I help rescue the crew. I am a high-speed rescue boat. I'm here to help swimmers and small boats that are in trouble on the water. I have an inflatable collar and I have equipment on board to help those that are in trouble. Today I'm on my way to help a sailor who has fallen overboard. On board I have lots of rescue equipment like ropes, ring buoys, life jackets, medical supplies, diving gear, and dry clothes. Remember, Jonah, when you're in a boat, you always wear your life jacket. I am a rigid inflatable boat, or RIB for short. I have a light, strong, stiff plastic hull and a huge inflatable collar around my sides. This cushion of air keeps me afloat in the stormy seas. Our next boat is a really cool one. It's called a terrific tall ship. Here I am with some of my tall ship friends. See how much bigger we are than the average sailboat? See the little bitty sailboats, then see the great big tall ships? I am a tall three-masted sailing ship. 200 years ago, all big ships looked like me. My tallest mast is almost 200 feet high. That's as tall as a 6-story building. My crew has to climb up my mast to raise all my sails. Can you count them? When the wind blows hard, I can travel at 15 miles an hour. Now, I also have an engine to power me if the wind is still. The next boat is a giant ocean liner. You might see these down in Florida where you live now. I am a cruise ship, one of the biggest ships in the world. Look at me, I'm a huge floating hotel. I carry thousands of people all over the world. On board I have everything my passengers need to enjoy their stay. Comfortable cabins, shops, cafes, restaurants, movie theaters, swimming pools, gyms, laundromat, a bowling alley, and a hospital. I'm the size of a small city. Today is the first day of a new vacation. I'm about to leave the harbor on my way to Bermuda. That is the ocean liner. Here are pictures of all our boats. See how they go. We've got the cruise ship, the trawler, the tall ship, the rescue boat, the kayak, the racing sailboat, and my favorite, the power boat. And Jonah, that's our boat book. And Cliff has a new boat now. One day you'll have to see it and we'll have to go ride in our new boat. Bye-bye from Cliff and Beppa.
Go ahead.
Hi, Jonah. Uncle Claire and Aunt Tammy have a book for you. It's Good Night, and Mammy liked it because it had a moon on it. And Uncle Claire's going to read it to you, and it belonged to Sarah and Benjamin.
Hey, Jonah Bug. This book's a little bit warm because apparently Mammy read it a whole bunch to Sarah and Ben. It starts out and it says good night, and it's got a big old fat elephant lying asleep on it. And it's on a big boat now, so you got to remember that. It says, the sun has set not long ago. Now everybody goes below. It's a bunch of animals running down the ship. To take a bath in one big tub with soap all over. Scrub, scrub, scrub. And they're all in the big tub together. Now they hang up their towels on the wall, and the elephant hangs his the highest. And they find pajamas, big and small. All different kinds and sizes, in blue and red. With some on top and some beneath, they brush and brush and brush their teeth. And they show their teeth and they're all nice and fine. And when the moon is on the rise, they'll all go up, going up on top of the boat, to exercise. And they're lifting weights, and they're running, and they're doing push-ups, and the moon is out looking over them. And down once more, but not so fast. They're on their way to bed at last. They climb into their big feather bed. They're all yawning. Some at the foot, and some at the head. And two little rabbits sing a song while everybody hums along. And at this point, there's a song in the book that you need to get your daddy to sing to you. The day is done, they say good night, and somebody turns off the light, the elephant, because he's the tallest. The moon is high, the sea is deep. They rock and rock and rock to sleep. I hope you sleep good.
We love you.
Hi Jonah, this is your Zuzu, and I'm going to read you a bedtime story. It's called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. You get in your bed and pull your covers up and get all comfortable, and I'm going to read to you. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. When you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. He'll want to look in a mirror and make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice that his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house. He may even end up washing the floor as well. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in and make himself comfortable and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for paper and crayons, and he'll draw a picture. When the picture's finished, he'll want to sign his name with a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he will need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. The end. Good night, Jonah. I love you.
Hey Jonah, it's Meemaw and Bee.
Hey, Jonah.
We have two Meemaw tractor books for you that have stickers in them, and you can get Mama or Daddy to read them to you. But tonight, Meemaw and Bee is going to read you The Napping House. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. And in that house there is a bed, a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that bed there is a granny, a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that granny there is a child, a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that child there is a dog, a dozing dog on a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that dog there's a cat, a snoozing cat on a dozing dog on a dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping.
And on that cat, there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, and a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that mouse, there is a flea. Can it be? A wakeful flea on a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. A wakeful flea who bites the mouse, who scares the cat, who claws the dog, who thumps the child, who bumps the granny, who breaks the bed, in the napping house where no one now is sleeping. The end.
Bye, Jonah.
Good night, Jonah. Sleep tight.
Put Me in the Zoo by Robert Lopshire. I will go into the zoo. I want to see it. Yes, I do. I would like to live this way. This is where I want to stay. Help, Mommy? Will you keep me in the zoo? I want to stay in here with you. Turn the page. Yeah. We do not want you in the zoo. Out you go, out, out with you. Why did they put me out this way? I should be in. I want to stay. Why should they put you in the zoo? What good are you? What can you do? What good am I? What can I do? Now here is one thing I can do. Look, now all his spots are blue. Come see Mommy. And now his spots are orange. Say, he looks very good that way. Now look at this. What do you see? Green spots, as green can be. Violet spots, say, you are good. Do more, do more. We wish you would. I can do more. Look, this is new. Blue, orange, green, and violet too. Oh, they would put me in the zoo if they could see what I can do. I can put my spots up on this ball, and I can put them on a wall. I can put them on a cat, and I can put them on a hat. I can put them on the zoo, and I can put my spots on you. Look at this now. 1, 2, 3. I can put them on a tree. And now when I say 1, 2, 3, all my spots are back on me. Look now, here is one thing more. I take my spots, I make them 4. Oh, they would put me in the zoo if they could see what I can do.
What's Mama got?
I take my spots, I take them all, and I can make them very small. Help Mommy turn the page. And now you see I take them all, and I can make them very tall. I know. And when I want to have more fun, I take my spots and make them 1. One big spot. Yes, they should put me in the zoo, the things my spots and I can do. Go see it. Look at his spots. You see him? Turn the page. See, I can put them in a box. That's the spot box. I take them out, they look like socks. And I can put them way up high, up they go, I make them fly. I put them high up in the air, my spots fly here, my spots fly there. I call them back now, 1, 2, 3. Now all my spots are back with me. Tell me now you two, do you like the things I do? Tell me now you two, will they put me in the zoo? We like all the things you do. We like your spots. We like you too. But you should not be in the zoo. No, you should not be in the zoo. With all the things that you can do, the circus is the place for you. Yes, this is where I want to be. The circus is the place for me. The end. Love you, buddy. Eli, can you say hi to Jonah? Say, hey, Jonah. Can you say hi? Say, these are my trucks. My school bus and my truck.
Hi, Jonah.
We're going to read you a book. It's called If You Give a Cat a Cupcake. And I hope you enjoy this as much as Vera did.
Vera and
And
Ott.
if we had given our cat a cupcake, maybe our cat would not have run away from home. And it says, if you give a cat a cupcake, he'll ask for some sprinkles to go with it. When you give him the sprinkles, he might spill some on the floor.
Cleaning up will make him hot.
So you'll give him a bathing suit, just like you used to wear in our pool, and take him to the beach. He'll want to go in the water and build a sand castle too. Then he'll look for seashells.
He'll find a few other things as well. He'll put them in his pail and try to pick it up, but it'll be too heavy. He'll decide he needs to work out at the gym.
First he'll warm up on the treadmill, and then he'll lift a weight or two. Then he might even try a karate class.
After the gym, he'll want to go to the park. When you get there, he'll see the rocks. He'll climb as high as he can. At the top, you'll see the lake, and he'll want to take, and he'll want you to take him rowing.
He'll be the captain, and you'll have to row. Then he'll notice the merry-go-round and want to go for a ride.
He'll want you to go for a ride too. You'll choose the horse with the purple mane, and he'll get on the whale. First he'll find, the whale will remind him of the Science Museum. He'll ask you to take him there. First he'll find the dinosaurs.
Then he'll visit the Hall of Apes.
When the museum closes, you'll be the last to leave.
On the way home, you'll pass by the beach. You'll help him gather up all his things.
Then he'll want to race you.
When you get home, he'll empty the sand from his shoes. He might spill some on the floor.
Seeing the sand on the floor will remind him of the sprinkles. He'll probably ask you for some.
And chances are, if you give him some sprinkles,
He'll
want a cupcake to go with them.
And that's it.
Hey Jonah. Hey Dan and Nikki. We're reading the books from the Hargans. Some of them are here and some of them aren't here. So sorry, I'm going to read the book. Are You My Mother is the book. So Jonah, open your book. A mother bird sat on her egg. The egg jumped. Oh, said the mother bird. My baby will be here. He will want to eat. I must get something for my baby bird to eat, she said. I will be back. So away she went.
No.
The egg jumped. It jumped and jumped and jumped. Out came the baby bird. Where is my mother? He said. He looked for her. He looked up. He did not see her. He looked down. He did not see her.
No.
I will go and look for her, he said. So away he went. Down, down, out of the tree he went. Down, down, down. It was a long way down. The baby bird could not fly. He could not fly, but he could walk. Now I will go and find my mother, he said. He did not know what his mother looked like. He went right by her and he did not see her. He came to a kitten. Are you my mother? He said to the kitten. The kitten just looked and looked. He did not say a thing. The kitten was not his mother, so he went on. He came to a hen. Are you my mother? He said to the hen. No, said the hen. The kitten was not his mother. The hen was not his mother, so the baby bird went on. I have to find my mother, he said. But where? Where is she? Where could she be? Then he came to a dog. Are you my mother? He said to the dog. I am not your mother. I am a dog, said the dog. May I read? The kitten was not his mother. The hen was not his mother. The dog was not his mother. So the baby bird went on. Now he came to a cow.
"Are you my mother?" he said to the cow. "How could I be your mother?" said the cow. "I am a cow." The kitten and the hen were not his mother. The dog and the cow were not his mother. Did he have a mother? "I did have a mother," said the baby bird. "I know I did. I have to find her. I will. Now the baby bird did not walk. He ran. Then he saw a car. Could that old thing be his mother? No, it could not. The baby bird did not stop. He ran on and on. Now he looked way, way down. He saw a boat. "There she is," said the baby bird. He called to the boat, but the boat did not stop. The boat went on. He looked way, way up. He saw a big plane. "Here I am, Mother," he called out, but the plane did not stop. The plane went on. Just then the baby bird saw a big thing. This must be his mother. "There she is," he said. "There is my mother." He ran right up to it. "Mother, Mother, here I am, Mother," he said to the big thing. But the big thing just said, "Snort." "Oh, you are not my mother," said the baby bird. "You are a snort. I have to get you out of here. I have to get out of here." But the baby bird could not get away. The snort went up. It went way, way up. And up, up, up went the baby bird. But now where was the snort going? Oh, what is the snort going to do to me? Get me out of here. Just then the snort came to a stop. "Marley, be quiet." "Where am I?" said the baby bird. "I want to go home. I want my mother." Then something happened. The snort put that baby bird right back in the tree. The baby bird was home. Just then, the mother came back to the tree. "Do you know who I am?" she said to her baby. "Yes, I know who you are," said the baby bird. "You are not a kitten. You are not a hen. You are not a dog. You are not a cow. You are not a boat or a plane or a snort. You are a bird, and you are my mother." The end. We love you, Jonah, and we miss you very much.
Okay, Jonah, I'm going to read you "You Are My Wish Come True." Mama and Barley Bear snuggled in their favorite cuddle spot. "Mama," said Barley, "tell me again how I'm your wish come true." Mama smiled. Barley loved to hear about how he was Mama's special wish. "A long time ago," said Mama to Barley, "a wish started growing in my heart. At first, it was a quiet wish that nobody knew. Then it became an out-loud wish that grew and grew and grew, until one day my wish came true." "Me?" said Barley. "I was your wish come true?" "Yes," said Mama, "you are my wish come true." "Why did you wish for me, Mama?" said Barley. Barley wished for things like a new comic book or a pet lizard. He had never wished for a somebody. "Because," explained Mama, "I had an empty place in my heart that I wanted to fill with love for a special child like you, someone who would be my cuddly little one and I would be his mama." Barley got up and looked out the window that faced the big apple tree out back. "Did you wish for me all day, Mama?" Barley asked, "or only when the stars were out?" "All the time," said Mama softly. "I wished for you with my morning coffee and when I made my bed. I couldn't get my wish for you out from in my head." That was a lot of wishing, thought Barley. He thought of all the things he did at school, like math and lunch and reading. He couldn't imagine wishing through all of them. "Mama," said Barley, his voice a whisper, "did you wish for me by name?" He liked his name, he thought to himself. Mama tilted her head to show she was remembering. "When I first wished my wish," said Mama to Barley, "I didn't know your name.
or if you'd be a boy or a girl. But that didn't stop my wishing. I asked God to think about my wish and to create the child who would be the perfect one for me. Barley, said Mama, her eyes filling over with tears, of all the children in the whole wide world, God made you for me. This made Barley feel really special. There are lots of children in the world, he reminded himself, and God made him. Mama patted her belly. When I found out you were growing inside my tummy, I was excited and nervous all at the same time. Barley imagined himself curled up like a little ball in his mama's tummy. I was really in there, asked Barley, putting his hand on top of Mama's. Yes, said Mama, as small as a pickle. But as you grew, my tummy grew bigger. You kicked and rolled. Sometimes, said Mama, I thought you were doing somersaults in there. I wanted to come out and see you, giggled Barley. Me too, said Mama. Did you ever think, wondered Barley, that your wish might not come true? Oh yes, said Mama, remembering how long the waiting seems sometimes. I wished for you long before you started growing in my tummy and through many trips to the doctor for checkups. I wished for you while I decorated your room and shopped for baby things. And, said Mama, I wished for you through the wonderful parties for you and I. Barley wondered why grown-ups would buy him presents before he was even born. How could they have known what he liked? He had a hard enough time picking out gifts for his friends. Mama continued, I wished and waited while I counted down the hundreds of days until I met you. Barley wasn't good at waiting. He wanted his birthday to be 3 times a year. During the waiting, said Mama, I would imagine you. Imagine me, repeated Barley. Yes, said Mama. I imagined what you'd look like or what color your fur would be. I imagined you in your room playing with your blocks and trains. I wondered too if you'd like soccer or piano or art projects. Did you imagine me to look exactly like I do? Asked Barley. You, Barley, are more beautiful than I ever dreamed, said Mama. Barley knew Mama was thinking about the lucky part in her story because her eyes grew big and round. One day, said Mama, brightening as she spoke, one glorious, special, wonderful day, I knew my wish was about to come true. What did you do when you first held me? Asked Barley. As hard as he tried to remember, he just couldn't. He was a pretty little Barley then. Oh, Barley, said Mama, I fell deeply in love with you. I looked into your sweet face, and right then you became my wish come true. Barley felt cozy about what his Mama was telling him, but a thought niggled at him. Mama, said Barley, me and you are in the same family, but we don't look the same. You have dark fur, and I have light fur with brown ears. Is that okay? Yes, Barley, she said. Some families look alike and others don't. All families are different. What makes a family is their love for each other. That makes sense, thought Barley. He liked Mama's answer. He loved being part of her family. Do wishes always come true? Asked Barley, thinking again about the pet lizard he'd still wish for. No, said Mama, not all of our wishes come true, but don't ever stop wishing for the hopes of your heart. I won't, said Barley. Maybe he'd ask for a goldfish instead. But I came true, said Barley proudly. Yes, you did, Barley, said Mama. I wish for you, and you are always and forever my wish come true. Mama and Barley stayed right there in their cuddle spot, both thinking that always and forever was a good amount of time. The end.
Hey Jonah, Aunt Deborah and Uncle Marty are here to read you a bedtime story. The name of the book is That's How Much God Loves You.
And He loves you a lot.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered just how much God loves you?
He loves you as much as a polar bear is white, and a daffodil is yellow, and an apple is red.
He loves you as much as the sky is high and the ocean is wide.
He loves you as much as the summer is warm, and as much as winter is snowy and cold.
God loves you as much as birds can sing, and cats can purr, and as much as dogs can wag their tails, and I can't do that now.
God loves you as much as pancakes are fluffy, and maple syrup is sticky sweet, and butter is golden and melty.
He loves you as trees are tall, and swings can swing, and balls can go bouncy bounce.
God loves you as much as stars can twinkle, and as much as the moon, Jonah's moon, smiles down at night, and the sun warms us during the day.
God loves you as much as daddies are tall, mommies are soft, and hugging them makes you feel loved.
Do you wonder how much God loves you? God loves you more than anything.
That's how much God loves you.
And we love you too, Jonah, and we miss you.
A lot. You gotta go to bed now.
Tell Mom and Daddy hello.
We love you.
Story about the little house. Once upon a time, there was a little house way out in the country. She was a pretty little house, and she was strong and well built. The man who built her so well said, "This little house shall never be sold for gold or silver, and she will live to see our great-great-grandchildren's great-great-grandchildren living in her." The little house was very happy as she sat on the hill, and she watched the countryside around her. She watched the sun rise in the morning, and she watched the sun set in the evening. Day followed day, each one a little different from the other one before, but the little house stayed just the same. In the night, she watched the moon grow from a thin new moon to a full moon, then back again to a thin old moon. And when there was no moon, she watched the stars. Way off in the distance, she could see the lights of the city. The little house was curious about the city and wondered what it would be like to live there. Time passed quickly for the little house, and as she watched the countryside slowly change with the seasons. In the spring, when the days grew longer and the sun warmer, she waited for the first robin to return from the south. She watched the grass turn green. She watched the buds on the trees swell out and the apple trees burst into blossom. She watched the children playing in the brook. In the long summer days, she sat in the sun and she watched the trees cover themselves with leaves and the white daisies cover the hill. She watched the gardens grow and she watched the apples turn red and ripen. She watched the children swimming in the pool. In the fall, when the days grew shorter and the nights colder, she watched the first frost turn the leaves to bright yellow and orange and red. She watched the harvest gathered and the apples picked. She watched the children going back to school. In the winter, when the nights were long and the days short, and the countryside covered with snow, she watched the children coasting and skating. Year followed year, the apple trees grew old and new ones were planted. The children grew up and went away to the city. And now at night the lights of the city seemed brighter and closer. One day the little house was surprised to see a horseless carriage coming down the winding country road. Pretty soon there were more of them on the road and fewer carriages pulled by horses. Pretty soon along came some surveyors and surveyed a line in front of the little house. Pretty soon along came a steam shovel and dug a road through the hill covered with daisies. Then some trucks came and dumped big stones on the road. Then some trucks with little stones, then some trucks with tar and sand. And finally a steamroller came and rolled it all smooth and the road was all done. See the steamroller? Now the little house watched the trucks and automobiles going back and forth to the city. Gasoline stations, roadside stands, and small houses followed the new road. Everyone and everything moved much faster now than before. More roads were made and the countryside was divided into lots. More houses and bigger houses, apartment houses and tenement houses, schools, stores, and garages spread all over the land and crowded around the little house. No one wanted to live in her and take care of her anymore. She couldn't be sold for gold or silver, so she just stayed there and watched. Now it was not so quiet and peaceful at night. Now the lights of the city were bright and very close, and the street lights shone all night. This must be living in the city, thought the little house, and didn't know whether she liked it or not. She missed the field of daisies and the apple trees dancing in the moonlight. Pretty soon there were trolley cars going back and forth in front of the little house. They went back and forth all day and part of the night. Everyone seemed to be very busy, and everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Pretty soon there was an elevated train going back and forth above the little house. The air was filled with dust and smoke, and the noise was so loud that it shook the little house. Now she couldn't tell when spring came, or summer, or fall, or winter. It all seemed about the same. Pretty soon there was a subway going back and forth underneath the little house. She couldn't see it, but she could feel and hear it. People were moving faster and faster. No one noticed the little house anymore. They hurried by without a glance. Can you see her? Still there. Pretty soon they tore down the apartment houses and tenement houses and the little house and started digging big cellars, one on each side. The steam shovels dug down 3 stories on one side and 4 stories on the other side. Pretty soon they started building up. They built up 25 stories on one side and 35 stories on the other. Now the little house only saw the sun at noon and didn't see the moon or stars at night at all because the lights of the city were too bright. She didn't like living in the city. At night she used to dream of the country and the field of daisies and the apple trees dancing in the moonlight. The little house was very sad and lonely. Her paint was cracked and dirty. Her windows were broken and her shutters hung crookedly. She looked shabby, though she was just as good a house as ever underneath. Then one fine morning in spring, along came the great-great-granddaughter of the man who built the little house so well. She saw the shabby little house, but she didn't hurry by. There was something about the little house that made her stop and look again. She said to her husband, "That little house looks just like the little house my grandmother lived in when she was a little girl. Only that little house was way out in the country on a hill covered with daisies and apple trees growing all around." They found out it was the very same house, so they went to the movers to see if the little house could be moved. The movers looked the little house all over and said, "Sure, this house is as good as ever. She's built so well we can move her anywhere." So they jacked up the little house and put her on wheels. Traffic was held up for hours as they slowly moved her out of the city. At first the little house was frightened, but after she got used to it, she rather liked it. They rolled along the big road and they rolled along the little roads until they were way out in the country. When the little house saw the green grass and heard the birds singing, she didn't feel sad anymore. They went along and along, but they couldn't seem to find just the right place. They tried the little house here and they tried her there. Finally they saw a little hill in the middle of a field and apple trees growing around. "There," said the great-granddaughter, "that's just the place." "Yes, it is," said the little house to herself. A cellar was dug on top of the hill, and slowly they moved the house from the road to the hill. The windows and shutters were fixed, and once again they painted her a lovely shade of pink. As the little house settled down on her new foundation, she smiled happily. Once again she could watch the sun and the moon and the stars. Once again she could watch spring and summer and fall and winter come and go. Once again she was lived in and taken care of. Never again would she be curious about the city. Never again would she want to live there. The stars twinkled above her. A new moon was coming up. It was spring, and all was quiet and peaceful in the country. The end. Did you like that?
Hi, Jonah. Wish you was here. This is Nene, and Papa's going to read you a book.
Jonah, Nene found, or Nene found, I have to get it straight. Nene found Puff the Magic Dragon. She couldn't find anything about hunting or fishing, so this is what we got. Here we go. Puff the Magic Dragon. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Little Jack Paper loved Rascal Puff and brought him things and strings and sealing wax and other fancy stuff. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn in a land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Together they would travel on a boat with billowed sail. Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's magic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flag when Puff roared out his name. And the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Honolulu. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Honolulu. A dragon lives forever, but not so with little girls and boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more, and Puff the mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. His head is bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer went out to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave, so Puff the mighty dragon sadly slipped into his cave. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Honolulu. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in the land called Honolulu. The end. Jonah, we miss you. We love you. I wish you was here to bow hunt with me. But one day, we will see one another again. So long.
Bye, Jonah.